Hi, I'm Heidi Petracek, and welcome to Living East. It may be cold outside, but here at the Halifax International Boat Show, we're thinking tropical thoughts. We're going to check out the hottest new boating gear and do some serious dreaming while we're here. But first, let's meet a man who knows all about life at sea, writer and sailor, Silver Donald Cameron. So Silver Donald Cameron's latest book is Sailing Away from Winter, something I think we all dream of doing. But you actually did it.
We did.
How did that all come about?
Well, it's been a long-standing dream, and it took a little persuasion of my wife, who wasn't absolutely sure this was what she wanted to do with a couple of years of her life. But we bought an old boat and did a lot of repairs on it, and off we went.
Mm-hmm. So now, what was it like? How would you describe the whole experience overall?
I think I would say the getting to the Bahamas was arduous. It's a long, long way, and you're doing sort of 30-mile days, and every day is a new port, every day is a new spot, and so on. Fascinating. I mean, wonderful, wonderful places you're landing in: Savannah, Charleston, St. Augustine, and so on. But it really wasn't until we got to the Bahamas that we could stop long enough to really enjoy being where we were. Mm-hmm. Up until then, it's sort of a delivery trip, trying to escape the winter. The winter's right on your heels all the way down.
And weather-wise, what would you say was your toughest moment? There are a few.
There were a few, and I guess I would probably pick the coast of New Jersey when we were having some engine trouble. Marjorie wasn't with me at that point. I had a buddy of mine sailing with me. And we found ourselves offshore in 25 or 30 knots of wind and relatively shallow water, and not really sure that the engine was going to function properly. Not a very comfortable night. And we were there at that for 26 hours. You don't go to sleep.
No, I guess not.
The adrenaline tends to keep you awake. And there certainly are moments when you're sort of saying to yourself, we're here for fun, right? This is why we're out here banging around in all this slop. We're here for fun. But basically, there's not much you can do except, figure out what's the right thing to, as far as you can tell, what's the right thing to do, and just carry on doing it. There really isn't much choice.
Mm-hmm. Now, when your wife was with you, what was it like to be in close quarters like that, on the go all the time, very busy? How does your relationship make it through something like that?
Well, the consensus, I think, of cruisers is that either you become very close or you split. And it really is kind of a crucible. It means you can't paper over very much, and there isn't any place to go. You can't sort of stomp off and slam the door and go to your workshop. No. There's no workshop. So, but with us it worked out very well. I mean, by the time we'd gotten down there, we had this whole body of experience behind us. We had our dog with us, which is a real bond between the two of us anyway. And he was an old guy, so caring for him was a constant kind of concern. At the end of it, I'd say we were much closer than we were when we started.
How long were you gone for?
We were 8 months on the way down and another 4 on the way back the following year.
Mm-hmm. If other people are thinking of doing this, if this is someone else's dream out there, what advice would you give them?
Go.
Do it.
Yeah, I would say, what are you waiting for? I mean, because of course I had this sort of notion for a long, long time, and I suddenly woke up one day and said, you're in your middle 60s, right? When are you going to do it? And if not now, when? So I would say just go and do it. There's no reason to wait.
Did it change you as a person?
I think it did. I think there's a certain piece of me that feels a little satisfied about it, and sort of it always felt all through the years that I'd been sailing that I really wanted to do a long cruise, and I never had, and so you always feel like you're a little bit unfulfilled, or you haven't kind of done what some other people have done. Now there's always somebody who's done more, but it's nice to have said, I'm capable of taking my boat from Cape Breton Island to the Bahamas and back again satisfactorily and safely. Both of us are kind of thinking, well, what about Newfoundland? And maybe that'll be next.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
All right, well, Silver Donald Cameron, thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Sailing Away from Winter is Silver Donald Cameron's latest book. If you're planning a voyage or you just like to dream, this book's a great armchair guide to sailing. You can find it in most bookstores or order it online directly from the author's website.